So folks, of course you would have seen the crazy news going on over the weekend about this European Super League that is supposedly going to be happening from next season, where all the big clubs around the world are going to be joining together to make a Super League and giving no thoughts to the fans whatsoever and just seeing money. Well, today on Football Manager, I'm going to be seeing how the football world may well look without these super teams, how the Champions League will look, how the domestic leagues will look, and how the European Championships may well finish this summer if all those players that join and stay at these European clubs are banned from playing for their countries. So as always, be sure to hit the like button down below, subscribe to the channel if you are new. And this database was from this user over on FM Scout. So if you want to check it out for yourself and download it, I'll make sure I leave a link to it in the description. So we're going to be seeing who's won the domestic league, so the Premier League, Serie A, and obviously the Spanish League as well. Obviously not doing the Bundesliga or Liga 1 because at the moment none of them have committed to it. Champions League, Europa League we're going to be looking at because all those teams would have been replaced in that. And we will also go and look at the European Championships when we're done. So let's start off with the Premier League. And my word, Burnley have won the Premier League. Right, so Sean Dyche is a Premier League champion. It's a really interesting looking league. So basically, how the database has worked has been a big chunk. I'd assume probably teams that were predicted finish quite high in the Championship have been put into the Premier League. So it hasn't really taken into regards real life results from this season. But we can see there, Burnley have won the Premier League with 80 points. So not really a runaway champion. I say Leicester and Burnley looking pretty comfortable there. Probably the biggest disappointments there for me is Wolves. I think Wolves could have genuinely had a good shout. West Brom up in 8th as well. But from the next season in game, Burnley, Leicester, Everton and Aston Villa are going to be in the Champions League. Top goal scorers were Danny Ings, Callum Wilson and Ashley Barnes. But that is phenomenal that Burnley have gone and won that. And you can see there on the right hand side, Man City, Chelsea, Leicester, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool champions, and then Burnley. Fantastic. We'll have a quick look at managerial changes as well. See the manager movements. So of course all the players that are playing for these European super clubs at the moment aren't even in the database, so they can't even be signed up. Hodgson was sacked. Jonathan Woodgate, who's at Bournemouth, was sacked. Darren Moore at Sheffield Wednesday, Ancelotti at Everton, Steve Bruce, and then eventually Nuno as well at the end of the season due to support pressure. But not a huge amount of sackings. You know, your general few around the sort of Christmas period and so on. Steve Bruce is only sacked due to a new board as well, so that's quite interesting indeed. So Burnley champions of that. Let's have a look at the FA Cup. FA Cup. Everton have won that, so they've got a very comfortable win in the end against Aston Villa. We'll have a quick look at the other rounds. Leicester, Southampton, Everton, Villa. These are the teams you'd probably expect to be there, you know, if obviously this was the case. Brighton knocked out there, so yeah, interesting. Everton, I think, is a very valid shout of winning that. And then finally, the Carabao Cup. Burnley again, so Burnley have got double. I love that. They've beaten Wolves in the final, 2-1 just there. I'm not sure why I've clicked on the result. Connor Cody getting a red card. You hate to see it. Have a quick look if there's any shocks. Huddersfield up there as well in this semi-final. But yeah, most of it is sort of, I don't know, I think Burnley is a big surprise so far. So next league we're going to look at is La Liga. I've probably put the league completely wrong there. It's a Spanish first division, and it is Sociedad who have won it. Real Sociedad are title winners with 79 points. Valencia in second with 76 there. And again, probably the teams you'd expect to be up there, to be honest. Raul Garcia for Bilbao finishing top goal scorer. A lot of players actually with 17 points, but you can see again down the right hand side, dominated by Atleti, Barca and Real Madrid, and Sociedad there up at the top. In terms of the Spanish Cup as well, it was a win for Valencia. They beat Bilbao in the final. And now we'll move on to Serie A. And of course, no Juventus in there, and Napoli are title winners. So Napoli, Lazio, probably the teams. Atalanta, probably the teams again you'd expect to be up there. But in the end, they won it by 3 points. Napoli got some very talented players. But again, they were probably one of the ones you'd put your money on to win it if that was the case. So I'll have just a quick look at the cup competitions they were in as well. The Italian Cup was won by Napoli as well, so they had a very decent season overall. So now we're going to take a look at the Champions League, Europa League, and then obviously go on to the Euros. If there's anything else that you think I've missed out, guys, do let me know, obviously, in the comment section down below, and I'll have a look into it for you. But we'll go for the Euro Cup first. The winner of that was Leverkusen, so quite interesting. Obviously, with the German teams haven't really been disrupted by this, so you'd expect them to probably have the upper hand on especially the Champions League and Europa League. With some of these bigger teams out, you'd expect the German teams to have that upper hand. But Leverkusen won it, beating Braga 3-1 in the end in the final. Just quickly see there, Leipzig and Shakhtar were the other teams in the semi-final as well. Patson Daka, very good player, finishing top goal scorer there. And then finally, the Champions League, Bayern won it. They beat Sevilla in the final. Again, like I said, expecting the Germans to dominate this. And Bayern were probably the favourites, of course, finishing as the champions last year. They've won it again, this time against Sevilla. Just have a quick look at some of the we'll do it here actually. Semi-finals. Porto were in there. Napoli as well had a really solid season, obviously, overall. Quarter-final, got Wolves in there. Obviously, because they would have been ranked one of the higher teams in the Premier League, they got given European football. But Porto, Sevilla, Wolves gave Bayern an okay game. PSG were knocked out by Napoli. Again, PSG were probably the ones that we were expecting to see a little bit more in this. Sheffield United, to be fair, they were in there, got into the first knockout round, as well as Leicester. And the group stage, I'll quickly check all the English teams that were in there. So Wolves got through. Burnley finished bottom of their group, so they were the fourth team in the Champions League. So it wasn't a great time for Burnley, but obviously they don't care. They went on to win the. They stayed. You know, that's probably why they had an advantage. You know, a lot of the teams in and around them were in European competition, and they took advantage of that. And, of course, went and won the league and the Carabao Cup. So, the European Championships, because of all of these big players being banned from this tournament now, again, main advantage, I would say, is possibly to Germany. The core of the Germany national team is playing in Germany right now, so aren't going to be banned from this competition. Again, England are too disrupted, I'd say. Spain are going to be too disrupted with losing out Madrid, Barcelona, and so on. So let's jump into it and see how they got on. So now here we go. Lots of the jobs available. Obviously, many of the managers have left, and you can see a little news article there. Germany certainly are the team that won it, and won it in some style. 5-1 victory overall over Norway. They smashed it in the end, but like I said, they were a team that I expected to be up there and win it. Norway, to be fair, got some good players, obviously. Haaland and co this season, so they got to the final. Semi-final, England were there. Let's have a look at the England squad. I mean, yeah, you can see straight away how much, you know, quality is taken out of the team. Still got the likes of Sancho, you know, Chris Smalling being introduced in the team, which you probably wouldn't normally see. Still some good players there, but a big core of that squad taken away. Italy also in there as well. But yeah, very, very interesting. But Germany were always going to be the favourites overall. But that is what football may well look like, guys. To be fair, it looked like some of the results are crazy and really, really interesting. And that's what football could look like if this European Super League does go ahead. But guys, let me know your thoughts on today's video in the comment section down below. Be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I'll see you all very, very soon.